Hey everybody, it's Deb. I am coming up on week 2 of my liquid diet in preparation for vertical sleeve gastrectomy with Dr. Alvarez in Mexico. Week 1 wasn't too bad. I did fall down twice and had some Chinese food both times. It's so full of salt and fat, even though it's disguised as having lots of vegetables and being good for you and everything. It also has lots of carbs. But I picked myself right back up and I went right back to the protein diet, and I don't think that's going to happen again. Week 1 wasn't too bad. I've been doing 3 protein shakes a day, and when I had my meltdown, that's when I only had 1 protein shake. So lesson learned, go ahead and make sure you're having 1, 2, 3 a day, and even if you don't feel hungry, because if you don't eat them and you start to feel hungry, then it might be too late. You might be going to have a meltdown like I did. I also found this great new thing called Protein to Go this week, and it's protein water. I could not find Special K protein water, but my grocery store just started stocking this stuff, Protein to Go. There's a berry and a lemonade flavor, so this is very good. And this is something just to sip during the day. The vitamin water I also sip too when I get tired of these sip mixes and when I get tired of just plain water. So this is something new to look for. So let's get started. I'm going to talk about my meds that I hope to get off of as a result of weight loss. So let's talk about those. The first thing is I'm pre-diabetic. My doctor has me taking metformin, ER, extended release, and 500 milligrams. I was taking 4 of these a day until we figured out that they weren't helping with my binging. If you take 4 of them a day in the morning and you eat too many carbs, you get a similar reaction as if you had taken Orlistat or Ally. And that wasn't, yeah, that happened to me, but it wasn't stopping me. So I'm back to 1 in the morning and 1 in the evening on this, just to control sugar up and downs. So I hope to get off this fairly soon after I lose some weight. The other thing I'm taking, I have high blood pressure. I'm taking diltiazem, which is something that expands your blood vessels. And I take this at night. And this is one I also hope to get off of. It's also called Cardia, which is the brand name. Diltiazem is the generic. This also makes you hot because your blood vessels are expanding. So I always get hot feet at night right after I take this. So I'm looking forward to not having that one anymore. The other thing I take is Losartan, which is Hyzar. Losartan is the generic. Hyzar is the brand name. This is also a blood pressure medication with a little bit of Lasix, diuretic built in. I take this in the morning. So I'm taking 2 kinds of blood pressure medication, 1 in the morning, 1 at night. And it's interesting to note that there are over 200 types of blood pressure control medications, if not more, on the market today. And I'm just taking 2, so it's very scary. So hopefully my blood pressure will come down along with diet and exercise. I feel more like moving when I get a little bit of weight off of me. The other thing I take is levothyroxine, which is Synthroid. I have a very sluggish, get it out, Debbie, sluggish thyroid, which may or may not be due to weight issues. I tend to think not. It also could be because I take this. This is my antidepressant. Why am I depressed? Well, could be because I'm overweight. But I also come from a family where manic depressive or bipolar illness runs in it. So I may have some cyclical depression as a result of growing up with some bipolar folks in my house that were undiagnosed, which is pretty much a byproduct of what happens. And everyone's fine. It's okay now. And I just take this to make sure that I don't get too low, which can happen. So I have heard of people who come off a vertical sleeve gastrectomy and have been able to come off their antidepressants. So that would be really nice if I could. I'm also reading a lot about the connection between certain vitamins and depression, and brain function in general. And some of the things are very interesting, and if my diet improves to the point where the nutrition is doing the job that the antidepressant is doing now, I'm all for getting off the antidepressant. Otherwise, I will stay on the antidepressant and maybe the thyroid medication for hypothyroidism until probably the day I die. And that's okay. As long as I can get off the other two, the high blood pressure and the pre-diabetic, I think you've really gotten two strikes against me, dealt with it and gotten it out of the way. So those are the medications I'm taking that I hope to be able to have a lot fewer of them as time goes on. I know it's going to be months, if not at least a year, before I can look at getting off of those. I also sleep with a CPAP, excuse me. And the CPAP is for obstructive sleep apnea. Obstructive meaning that I have too much weight around my larynx and my openings in order for me to sleep. Lose weight, those things go away, you get off your CPAP. So hopefully I'll be able to get off that too. Okay, so let's do the numbers. I was looking at, before I had my Chinese food meltdown, I was looking at a 10-pound weight loss. But because of the salt, I believe that it pounded onto me, and maybe even just the food itself, I've only lost 7 pounds this week. So I now weigh 250. I'll take it. And I'm looking forward to checking in with Dr. Alvarez being even a little bit smaller. And that's in 1 week on Friday, April 20th. So that's me today. This is what I look like today. I have been in the dog park, so I'm a little dirty from the dogs jumping on me and a little dusty. Certainly have messed up hair. But it's been a really great day. It's been a beautiful day. So, and hope you have a beautiful day too. And thanks for peeking in.